Instantly, a fierce battle erupted, dazzling light streaks cutting through the chaos. The air crackled with energy as fighters clashed, their desperation.
Ah, this is mine.
No, don't kill me.
Screams echoed incessantly. Some were caught in a melee while the weaker ones perished under the relentless onslaught. Amidst the turmoil, a man wielding a massive warhammer, his arms radiating a burning red aura, wreaked havoc. He was none other than Elijah White from Topmost City, a super region known for its formidable warriors. His strength was unmatched by martial artists from ordinary areas.
Humph, I, Elijah White, want these bloody life and death flowers. If you dare touch my stuff with your filthy hands, prepare to die.
Elijah White's power was terrifying, exuding an aura of invincibility that seemed to crush the spirit of those around him.
Elijah White, who do you think you are? Everyone has a share of these flowers. It's not like you have your name on them.
Some from the major regions stood up against Elijah White, unwilling to back down despite the obvious danger.
Who do I think I am? I am stronger than you. That's what I am. Your life ends here.
With a ghost-like movement, Elijah White appeared behind the defiant man and struck him with the energy-infused warhammer.
Thud!
The man crashed against the stone wall, reduced to a pool of blood and flesh. The horrifying sight sent chills down the spines of those watching. Everyone gasped, witnessing the sheer power of a top martial artist from a super region. Elijah White, at the early 7th stage of the Mahayana realm, was on par with the top 3 of the Talents Alliance.
People from Topmost City, listen up. Go and snatch all the bloody life and death flowers you see.
Understood.
More than a dozen fighters from Topmost City scattered, displaying their formidable talents and swiftly claiming dozens of the coveted flowers. Their coordinated movements and overwhelming power left others scrambling.
What nonsense is this? Let's make our move together and stop them. Topmost City has crossed the line. I refuse to believe we can't defeat Topmost City with our combined strength.
Leaders from various regions rallied together, forming an impromptu alliance to challenge Topmost City. A massive battle was imminent above the cliff, the tension palpable as the forces clashed.
There are bloody life and death flowers here.
Zane Martel spied 2 bloody life and death flowers in a secluded corner of the stone wall. With a swift motion, he rushed up and carefully picked the flowers with his hand, his heart with excitement. The battle raged on around him, the cries of the wounded and the clash of weapons creating a chaotic symphony. Yet Zane Martel's focus remained unwavering on the precious flowers in his grasp. He could feel their potent energy, a testament to the legends that surrounded them.
These flowers, their power is incredible. If the legends are true, they could change everything. But I must be cautious. In this place, even a moment's distraction could mean death.
As Zane Martel secured the flowers, he glanced around, noting the determination etched on the faces of those still fighting. The allure of the life and death flowers had driven them to the brink, their desperation a powerful force in the struggle for survival. Amidst the chaos, Elijah White continued his rampage, his warhammer a blur of deadly precision. The fighters from Topmost City moved with calculated efficiency, their every action coordinated to maximize their gains. In the midst of the fray, Iris Smith and Adam Carlson exchanged a glance. Their earlier vows hung heavy in the air, a silent reminder of the fragile alliance holding their forces together.
We must stand our ground. If we falter now, everything we've fought for will be lost.
Agreed. Let's show them the strength of our unity.
As the leaders of the Talents Alliance rallied their forces, the tide of battle shifted. The combined might of the gathered regions pressed against Topmost City's fighters, their resolve strengthening with each passing moment. The scene before them was a tableau of struggle and ambition, each fighter driven by the promise of power and specter of death. The air was thick with the scent of blood and the acrid tang of burning energy, the ground littered with the fallen. Zane Martel knew better than to fight for these flowers amidst the chaos. Securing the treasures for himself was paramount. Gently, he exerted his strength, tearing off the roots of the bloody life and death flowers before stashing them in his storage ring. However, a genius from Topmost City witnessed this and shouted angrily, brandishing a long spear that radiated dazzling light.
Our seniors sell the bloody life and death flowers belong to Topmost City. You must die if you dare touch them.
Die? Those who've said that are all dead by now.
Zane laughed, choosing not to mobilize his energy. Instead, he threw a punch. The topmost city talent stunned, then laughed wildly.
You're crazy. Blocking my spear radiance with your body? Who do you think you are? Die now. Whirlwind spear technique, Dragon Blast.
Surrounded by the extreme power of the wind, the genius's spear converged into a single point, exuding a terrifying sense of oppression. Zane's punch seemed ordinary, but his muscles, bones, and blood vessels were as strong as steel, almost burning. The spear tip collided with Zane's punch, but failed to break through his defense. Instead, cracks appeared on the spear before it exploded. The force from Zane's punch sent the topmost city talent flying, crashing into the stone wall. Bones shattered and blood spewed from his mouth.
What do you think now? Do you still think I should die?
The crowd was taken aback. How could such a simple strike defeat a genius from Topmost City? Many quietly memorized Zane's face, vowing never to oppose him. A person with such strength could kill them in minutes, possibly indicating he was from a super region. Meanwhile, Elijah White brandished his huge black warhammer, killing several around him. His eyes locked onto Zane Martel, brimming with killing intent.
Brat, how dare you hurt someone from Topmost City? Which region are you from? Tell me your name.
Elijah White raised his warhammer, pointing menacingly at Zane Martel.
I'm Zane Martel, from the Zora Mountains.
Given Zane's current strength, he knew few could harm him, so he saw no need to hide his identity. The crowd reacted instantly.
What? Zora Mountain?
Is he from the Zora Mountains? Fuck. Why is someone from there here?
Is he one of those two?
No, those two call themselves Dante Kane and Ethan Haddon. I've never heard of Zane Martel.
The moment Zane introduced himself, everyone halted, turning to stare at him with widened eyes filled with fear and anger. The name Zora Mountains echoed like thunder, infamous for Dante Kane and Ethan Haddon's deadly exploits.
Damn it! How dare you show up when you're from the Zora Mountains? Die now!
A furious roar broke the silence. A young man flew forward, pressing his palms together to condense a terrifying 100-meter-long saber light. The saber radiance flew past, integrated with the extreme power of metal. No one would dare underestimate its strong momentum.
It's Joshua Wilson from the Celestial Vale. He has made his move. This bastard from Zora is going to die this time.
Although he is not the one who is on the hunt for the geniuses, he is still a member of Zora. He deserves to be killed.
Everyone else said one after another. In their opinion, even if Zane Martel was not the murderer, anyone from Zora should die for that crime. Killing Zane Martel could relive those who were killed by Dante Kane and Ethan Haddon. However, Zane Martel's expression changed slightly in the face of the sharp blade light. His hands formed a finger technique and slammed forward.
Human Emperor's Palm.
Zane Martel said faintly. The Human Emperor's palm whistled out, emitting an earth-shattering energy wave which clutched everyone's hearts. With a loud bang, the 100-meter-long saber radiance was shattered by Zane Martel's palm. Its momentum did not slow down and heavily slammed into the man from the Celestial Vale. The man was pushed out and slammed heavily on the stone wall, leaving a shallow palm print on the stone wall. After the Human Emperor's palm dispersed, Joshua Wilson's expression changed drastically, and his face was almost deformed. His teeth cracked and he spat out blood. His clothes were also torn. He looked severely injured.
Damn it, you bastard! How dare you attack me? You're courting death. I'll kill you.
Some starlight swirled around Joshua Wilson's body. In the void, the starlight got brighter and brighter, and colorful light spots were flashing. Joshua Wilson's saber was also shining with starlight, giving off a strong deterrent force.
Starry chop.
Then he slashed out with a saber. There seemed to be thousands of stars on his blade, like a nebula mess, whistling down from the sky. The surrounding space also changed color under the reflection of the nebula mess.
It's the Starry Saber skill of the Celestial Vale.
Zane Martel will die this time around.
Someone immediately recognized Joshua Wilson's fierce saber technique. The starlight carrying the saber radiance flew toward Zane Martel like shooting stars of heavenly flame. Zane Martel's expression changed slightly as he spoke in a faint voice.
I didn't kill you because I wanted to give you a chance to reflect on yourself, but it turns out you don't know how to cherish the opportunity. In that case, you can't blame me for what happens next. Human Emperor's Palm, Destroy of Wind and Thunderbolt.
Around Zane Martel, the power of wind and thunder rose, merging seamlessly with his palms. A terrifying power of nature nearly burst forth from his hands. With a single slap, the enormous green palms swept away all the starlights and struck Joshua Wilson.
Block it!
Joshua Wilson's face fell in shock as he slashed over 100 similar starry chops to counter Zane Martel's attack. But when the chops met the Human Emperor's palm, they shattered instantly.
Die now.
The Human Emperor's palm, destroyer of wind and thunderbolt, devoured Joshua Wilson entirely, reducing him to dust in an instant. Everyone was stunned, their eyes widening in disbelief. Minds went blank as they processed the overwhelming display of power. Even Elijah White, the most formidable martial artist in Topmost City, looked solemn, struggling to comprehend the scene. What shocked them wasn't just Zane Martel's effortless kill. They knew how tough the stone walls around them were, unmarked by their best efforts. Yet Zane Martel had done the impossible. Elijah White observed that Zane Martel's Human Emperor's palm harnessed a perfectly integrated power of nature, leaving him nearly speechless.
Oh my, I can't believe this. Isn't it enough for the Zora Mountains to produce two lunatics like Dante Kane and Ethan Haddon? Now Zane Martel is equally powerful. What is this?
Others echoed his disbelief, murmuring about Zora, a supposedly small region now producing incredible warriors. Elijah White tightened his grip on his warhammer, tempted to act, but the looming presence of the top 3 Talents Alliance members made him hesitate. Zane Martel's merging of the power of nature was formidable, but Iris Smith, Adam Carlson, and Atkinson Green were the real threats. For now, no one dared to challenge Zane Martel. Zane Martel took advantage of the moment, moving to pluck the bloody life and death flowers for himself. The others reacted to him like mice before a cat, even talents from Topmost City. When Zane Martel approached, they surrendered their bloody life and death flowers without resistance.
Stop! The bloody life and death flower is mine.
Zane Martel halted before a flower, confronting someone who attempted to pluck it, ready to assert his dominance.
You! How dare you snatch my bloody life and flower?
Snatch? That sounds horrible. I'm only borrowing it. I'll return it to you once I'm done using it. Don't worry.
Zane Martel's grin held a mischievous glint as he continued his assertive quest for the flowers. Across from Zane Martel stood a young man from a large region, his expression shifting from frustration to resignation.
Damn, he is so thick-skinned. He's snatching it, but he shamelessly claims he's borrowing it. Isn't that too shameless?
Despite his internal curses, the young man knew better than to resist after witnessing Joshua Wilson's fate. With a sigh, he handed over the bloody life and death flower. Zane Martel stepped forward with joy, taking the flower with a wide grin. Before the young man could leave, Zane Martel stopped him with a question.
By the way, I don't know which area you're from. Also, what's your name? How can I return it to you?
The young man's face turned gloomy, and he left a word.
Ha! People nowadays are kind enough to lend me something without telling me their name. I'm so lucky.
A few minutes later, Zane Martel had collected 30 bloody life and death flowers. Looking around, he saw that all that was left were worthless spiritual herbs. At that moment, the top 3 of the Talents Alliance, who had been silent, finally made their move. They slowly descended, and the others followed suit, treating them as leaders. Soon, 3 passageways appeared in the middle of the smooth, round cliff. They were narrow, allowing only one person through at a time.
I'm taking the middle one.
Before anyone else could react, Iris Smith walked straight in.
Then I'm taking the passage to the left.
Adam Carlson said, stepping into the left passageway.
I'll take the right.
Atkinson Green headed to the passage on the right and stepped in. The 3 had a tacit understanding and chose their respective paths. The geniuses from their respective regions naturally followed suit, each group trailing behind their chosen leader.